Now we continue with the lesson 3. Sentence begin with where, when, how, and why. You may occasionally hear a sentence start with an element other than who. This happens when you want to emphasize that element, and your voice should emphasize it as well. In the writing form, you should separate that element from the sentence with a comma. Next to, there is a good reason for emphasizing the element that you are putting at the beginning of the sentence, or you will sound unnatural. Let's look at the example. Where at the beginning of sentence, John is breakfast on the train this morning. On the train is a where element. Now I will move on the train at the beginning of the sentence, and it has a comma. Now let's read this sentence together. And remember to emphasize the where at the beginning of the sentence, because we move it to at the beginning of the sentence. On the train, John is breakfast this morning. You see, when I read it, the sound feels unnatural, because there is no reason for us to put where at the beginning of the sentence for this example. However, look at another example here. On the train, John felt fine, but at the office, he felt sick. That sound feels better and natural, because I would like to let people know that how is John in a different place. On the train, John was fine, but at the office, he felt sick. That is what I'm meaning. Next, with example, when at the beginning of sentence, John called earlier to cancel his appointment. Now I moved the when element earlier at the beginning of a sentence, and remember again, should have a comma here. Let's read this sentence. Earlier, John called to cancel his appointment. When I read like this, again the sound unnatural, because there is no reason for us to emphasize the earlier at the beginning of the sentence. Now look at the example here. Earlier, John felt sick, but now he is all right. The sound is natural now, because I have a comparison how is John feeling earlier and now. Okay, let's example on how at the beginning of the sentence. The bird hit the tree with a great force. I move how element at the beginning of a sentence with the great force. The bird hit the tree. Again, you see the sound is natural, because it's not meaning when I put with the great force at the beginning of a sentence and I read like this, the sound is natural. So how about this example? The bird swerved and with the great force hit the tree. The sound is better now, because I would like to make the little story. The bird swerved and with the great force hit the tree, and the sound natural now. With the great force, it's modified for swerved and it's modified for hit, so it becomes for now it's become for natural. Okay, now why at the beginning of sentence? Example is the bird returned to the station to drop off the passenger. Now I move to drop off the passenger at the beginning of the sentence and see how is it. To drop off the passengers, the bird returned to the station. The sound is unnatural, because again there's no reason for me to emphasize to drop off the passenger at the sentence. Look at for example here. To drop off the passenger safely, the bus returned to station. So this example is okay now, because I asked the safely word to emphasize the reason why the bus returned to the station. Again, to drop off the passenger safely, the bus returned to station.